Courtesy is a key factor in providing customers with a level of service that will exceed their expectations. Being courteous is the act of being attentive, helpful, considerate, polite, respectful, in both word and deed. Being attentive means giving full concentration to the person you're attending to and showing a sense of urgency in your actions. This means focusing your mind and body on the customer, thinking only of that which is transpiring between you and the customer, and not on something that happened before the customer reached you or will occur after they leave. Being helpful means providing voluntary assistance without being asked, providing facilities, information, and physical assistance that will benefit the customer and help them with their relationship with Malaysia Airlines. Being considerate means showing concern for the well-being of others so that the customer feels relaxed, comfortable, and satisfied. Anything that provides the customer with comfort and convenience by eliminating physical and mental strain is an act of considerateness. These acts may save time for the customer and ensure the safety and security of the customer and his or her belongings. Being polite means being pleasant and pleasing, using words which generally illustrate good manners such as good morning, please, thank you, I am sorry, excuse me, and so on.
I'm glad you enjoy it.
Being respectful means addressing people correctly, according to their status, using internationally accepted ways of addressing a person, such as Mr., Mrs., and Madam.
Have a nice holiday.
Or if the customer's name is not known, Sir, Madam. Courtesy is therefore an important ingredient in Malaysia Airlines' culture and behavior. Turn to exercise 15, and your facilitator will discuss with you some of the key elements of developing courteous behavior. If you're watching professional sports people, you have to admire their skill and ability. How did they get that way? Constant, frequent practice and commitment. The same holds true for quality service. People who deal well with other people get that way and stay that way through consistent practice and dedication, through mastery of the techniques of quality service, through always being conscious of each moment of truth. So where do we begin? We start with ourselves. As Destination Service Excellence points out, this takes initiative, positive attitude, and commitment. Sometimes it's difficult to maintain a positive attitude. Getting caught in traffic on the way to work, or having an argument first thing in the morning won't make you feel very friendly. But it helps to keep in mind that the people around you will react to your mood. If they see you being negative, they won't give you many positive responses in return.
Will you be quiet?
At times like these, it helps to recognize that most of the people we deal with have nothing to do with the problems bothering us.
Oh, please.
It simply isn't their fault. If we give them half a chance, they'll try to cooperate and be friendly. In the workplace, we need to want to do our jobs well before we can get any satisfaction from them. What do you think of this attitude?
What's the matter, Henry? Problems?
Oh, I hate this job. People interrupting me, asking me stupid questions all day. I mean, what makes them think I've got all the answers?
Most of these people are amateurs. They need some advice.
Yeah, well, they should ask an expert.
Henry obviously doesn't have a very good attitude about his job or about himself. Customers and others around him spot this attitude in a second and stay away.
Oh, I hate this job.
Our point is that you must feel good about yourself before you can have positive communication with others. This is another important step in successful customer service. Feel good about yourself. It's absolutely essential to first deal successfully with ourselves if we're to deal successfully with others. We need to give ourselves positive ideas. For some of you, this may be a new idea. The Director of Engineering believes that we can influence our own lives by the way that we think.
Take a step back once in a while and ask yourself if you have earned your wages. Each time we recognize that we have really earned our salary, how do we feel? Don't we feel good inside ourselves?
It's important for us to appreciate ourselves when we know we've done a job well. We need to be able to smile to ourselves, knowing that we've done the best we can. Remember, feeling good about ourselves has many benefits. Building up a store of positive ideas helps us to deal with the problems we encounter on and off the job.
When we feel confident about ourselves, we know we can solve the problems, or at least put them into perspective and remind ourselves of our abilities when things aren't going well.
If you feel good about yourself, you can turn things around. Worrying about problems doesn't solve them. By giving yourself positive reinforcement, you build the positive attitude needed to tackle those problems. When you develop a strong, positive image of yourself, you reflect the attitude that enables you to give quality service to customers. This positive attitude is reinforced when we consistently communicate positively with others. This positive communication can be given in any of the 6 following categories. First is feeling good about yourself. Second is practicing habits of courtesy. Third comes speaking. Fourth, listening. Fifth, performance. Sixth, learning. All 6 categories will work together to achieve one purpose. They help the people you deal with feel important. More to the point, when you use these steps to provide quality service, you'll feel important too, because people will give you the personal recognition you deserve. The third category, speaking, seems obvious. We all can say things to people that will be genuine, specific, and timely. So why don't we do it? Have you ever seen something like this happen?
About 4. And hang on a minute. Have you ever tried to pin him down long enough to get a question answered? Well, he carried on, all stupid and pathetic, and I could hardly get anything across to him.
Look, I don't mean to interrupt. It's just that I'm new here, and I don't know how to adjust the weight on the machine.
Well, all you actually have to do is just move the pin to whichever weight you want to, and it'll be fine. Anyway, I told him that he should get his life all sorted out and do things for himself instead of asking people what they want, but he...
How do I know which weight is right?
Well, if you just wait and be patient, I'll be there with you in a minute. I'll show you how it goes. Anyway, he went to John instead, and I don't know, it's so ridiculous.
What type of communication went on here? Could any positive communication have been spoken? Please stop the tape and turn to exercise 16 and discuss this episode. Whether you're assisting someone in person or by telephone, spoken positive communication is easy, pleasurable, and rewarding. As we've stressed, you must feel happy about yourself before you can communicate positively with others. Another step in providing quality customer service is always to be courteous with customers and others. Now, let's examine another form of quality service which we've already touched upon. Listening. Listening gives us a real opportunity to help others and to help ourselves. Our jobs are easier to perform if we really understand what others need and expect from us. How do we find this out? By asking questions and by listening carefully to the responses. The way we ask questions and the attention we pay to the answers are equally important. Customers, and any other people really, prefer dealing with people who listen to them. And when we really listen, we confer powerful, positive communication. And it's through this communication with the customer, and hopefully their acknowledgement, that our special skill brings something into the relationship, more than just brochures or timetables. Malaysia Airlines is in fact there to be a partner in the customer's journey to their destination, and to share in the ideas and to make the journey more enjoyable. Listen now to the Director of Personnel.
McDonald's have discovered that giving the customer your undivided attention is the best way to make the customer feel he is important. Once the staff have accomplished this, they follow through and make the first 30 seconds count.
McDonald's have found that the first 30 seconds of any transaction belongs to their customer, not to their staff. In this critical half-minute, they have the opportunity to win the customer's confidence by showing that they can listen accurately, that they understand and appreciate their needs, and will take the proper action to satisfy those needs.
We in Malaysia Airlines must make the first 30 seconds count by acknowledging the customer, smiling, and showing them that we're listening to them.
The more help you are, and the more enthused the customer is in the first 30 seconds, the better your relationship with the customer will be, because you will understand their needs. Listening shows we care about our customers and their needs. Here's an example to analyze.
Can you help me? I've got a funny noise in my car.
Funny noise? What kind of funny noise? Where's it coming from?
Well, it's coming from the front. Do you know what it is?
Could be anything on the front. Tell you what, why don't you leave it here and we check it out for you? Is that okay? It may take a while.
The employee may have thought he was being helpful, but the customer probably didn't see it that way. Watch what happens this time.
Can you help me? I've got a funny noise in my car.
That's not a very nice way to start your morning, is it? Tell me, where's the noise coming from?
Well, the front, the driver's side, I think.
Does it make noise when you're standing still?
No, of course not, silly. Only when I'm driving.
Tell you what, if you got the time, I'd like to test drive it. I think it's the wheel bearing. Is the keys in it?
Yes, by all means.
Let's discuss this example and other points about listening. The discussion notes will be found in exercise 17. Here's another example, this time on the telephone. As you watch, try to figure out why negative communications abound here.
Accounts.
Yes, I've been on hold for 5 minutes. I've got an inquiry about my account.
Name and address.
Siva, 13 Central Jalan Ipoh.
What's the problem?
The problem is this account is twice what it was last month. What's happened?
But that's what our records show.
I know that, but I don't owe it.
Just a minute, I'll have a look.
If you want to provide quality service with this person, what would you say? How about this for a start?
Accounts department, good morning. Anne speaking. How may I help you?
I've been on hold here for 5 minutes. I've got an inquiry about my account.
I'm sorry, I do apologize. Our phones have been very busy this morning. Could I have your name, please?
Notice that the employee identified herself immediately and immediately offered to help.
Now, Mr. Siva.
Then she apologized for the delay and explained why it occurred.
Yes, I can
These are
help
two
you.
important positive communications to keep in mind. People like to deal with other people, not nameless faces or voices. And people hate to be kept waiting, especially on the telephone. Giving an apology for the wait and attempting to explain why are both excellent ways to provide good service on or off the telephone.
Accounts department, good morning. Anne speaking. How may I help you?
Notice that Anne had a smile on her face. Even though the callers can't see that smile, smiling while talking on the telephone produces a more pleasant voice. Try it sometime. It really works. Remember, nearly 40% of all our communication content comes from tone of voice. And over the telephone, tone of voice is 55% of all communication. Here are some other tips. Simple as it sounds, listen to what's being said. Attentive listening is an effective example of quality service, but it's even more important when dealing with others on the telephone. If a caller thinks that no one is really listening or caring, they will probably think their business is not valued much by the company. This type of experience is perceived as poor customer service. Get the caller's name and use it. People like to hear their own names. If you take a message, be sure to take it accurately and deliver it promptly. Try not to put people on hold. If you do, warn them that you'll need a bit more time to get the information they require. Get the information and return to the line as quickly as possible. Chapter 6 of Destination Service Excellence Workbook provides you with other telephone techniques. They're all based on customer service principles, and they apply to your dealings with people on and off the telephone. And here's one more tip. When the telephone rings, most of us tend to pick it up, even if we're in conversation with someone face to face. This is most upsetting to the person waiting. It makes it appear that the telephone caller is more important than the person with us. There are other ways to handle this, though. Please stop this tape and discuss some positive ways to handle these situations. The next module will look closely at ways we can provide these things to others and build the positive foundation each of us needs to do the best job possible. In preparation for our next session, your facilitator will ask you to read several pages in your Destination Service Excellence Workbook. The material contains many helpful suggestions. It's definitely worth your time. Thank you for joining us.